it's Trina and this is my monthly recommendations video for July. Monthly Recommendations is a Goodreads group created by Kayla Rain and myself where every month we have a topic and anyone in the book community can join in and recommend their favorite books that fit that topic. This month our topic is auto-read authors. It can also be interpreted as auto-buy authors, but me personally, I get most of my books from the library, so I'm not actually buying every single thing from these authors, even though I will read them. And I think this first author is one that a lot of you guys can guess. That is Mindy McGinnis. She has 5 books out so far. I have read all 5 of them. I own all 5 of them, and her 6th book is coming out this fall. I'm already super excited about it, and I do have video reviews on my channel of every single one of these books, so if you want to hear more about these books or my thoughts on them specifically, you can definitely refer to those reviews. But I just really love Mindy's writing style, and I mean, I loved it from the start. I started with her first debut novel, Not a Drop to Drink, the year or a few months after it came out, and I just loved the gritty style, and she has tackled so many different types of genres, and she brings that grittiness and that rawness and darkness to all of her books. I really enjoy her writing. This is like my #1 author that I am a fangirl of, so definitely you know she was gonna be on this list. The next author on my list that I've read everything by so far and would love to read more of is Rainbow Rowell. She does have 5 books published, but I only own these 2, but I have read all 5 of them. She writes mostly contemporary romances with the exception of Carry On, which was kind of her take on fan fiction or fantasy. I have not loved every single one of her books that I've read, but I do enjoy her style and her characters and stuff, so whatever her next book is going to be, I am planning on picking it up, if for nothing else other than it's been a really long time since she's released a new book, and I just would be really curious on if I still am enjoying this author. But so far Rainbow Rowell has definitely been an auto-read author for me. Next is a guilty pleasure author in my opinion, and that is Sara Shepard. I do really enjoy Sara Shepard's mysteries. I have read almost all of her books. I've read all but 2. The first 2 books she ever wrote are just a little bit older, and I don't know exactly how I would like the topics that they are about, but all of her like YA mystery series, Pretty Little Liars, The Lion Game, The Perfectionist, The Amateurs, which is a new one, then she wrote The Heiresses, which was an adult mystery. I've read them all. I don't always love everything that she does and how she incorporates certain aspects into her books, but this is an author that I have found that I enjoy her mystery writing and like the suspense, and I can always get through her books pretty quickly, so there is something about her writing that I am enjoying enough to keep reading what she's writing. This is her current work, so like she has the sequel to this one coming out this year, and I really did enjoy this first book, so I do want to read the sequel. So I've read most of her previous work, and I'm looking forward to her upcoming work. So she's not one of my absolute favorite authors, but I've read so much by her, and you know, I'm not gonna stop just reading her books because I do like her mysteries. They're easy and quick to get through, and yeah, I would consider her an auto-read author. Another guilty pleasure author along those same lines that I have read everything by is Kiera. She's written the 5 books in the Selection series, and then she has the book The Siren, which is a standalone. And Kiera is an author that I know I can go to if I'm just wanting something fluffy and easy to get through. That's her thing, and sometimes you need books like that. I could do without these 2, but there is something about her writing that works for me when I'm in the mood for these types of books. Now that the Selection series is finally over, I'm really curious in what she would write next. I would like to see different genres from her, different topics and stuff. So she's a writer that has fulfilled like that certain reading mood that I've been in with her fluffy books, and I'm very interested in seeing what she's gonna write next. Jessica Spotswood is another author that I would consider to be an auto-read author for me. Now I'm putting her on this list although I have only read her first 3 books, the Cahill Witch Chronicles trilogy. When I read this series, I loved it. I was like, wow, this is an author that I really want to watch out for. I want to read more by her. And then last year she came out with Wild Swans and the Tyranny of Petticoats anthology, and I was so here for them. I was so anticipating these books, and I got them. And I have not picked them up yet, so I haven't actually read everything by her, but this is still an author that is like, I'm gonna read these books. I'm looking forward to the next thing that she publishes too. Like, I just do like her writing, and I plan to read all of her books, so I would put her on this list. The same is true for Becky Albertalli. I have only read her first book, Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I have not yet gotten to The Upside of Unrequited, but I am so stoked to read this. It was one of my most anticipated books of this year. After reading Simon, I knew I was going to love Becky Albertalli as an author, and knowing the topic of what Upside is about, I just know that I'm going to enjoy this book and I want to keep supporting her. So I'm always excited for a new Albertalli book, and I would definitely say she is an auto-read author even though she's only got a couple books out so far. And this brings me to debut authors who only have one book out so far, but I'm very excited for their next books and know that the next books they already have announced and planned are going to be auto-read books for me. So the first of those authors is Angie Thomas. She wrote The Hate You Give. This was her debut novel, just came out earlier this year. And the writing in this book, I was such a fan of it. I definitely need to read more by Angie Thomas. I know that she's got her next book announced. I will definitely be reading it. So even though it's early and she's only got one book out, I want to call it Angie Thomas is going to be an auto-read author for me, at least as of now. That is the same situation with Sandhya Menon, who wrote When Dimple Met Rishi. This book just came out. She has 2 future books already announced in the same genre as When Dimple Met Rishi, and one of those books actually follows a side character from this book. So just knowing what those books are about and that I liked her writing in this genre, I definitely want to see more by this author. And another debut author that is currently in my auto-read status, who I actually don't own her first book, but it is S.M. Parker, who wrote The Girl Who Fell. It came out last year, and that book tackled an abusive relationship, and her next book is not tackling that at all, but that book was so powerful to me. It made me a fan of that author and her writing and like what she was doing. And ever since I read that book, I was like, whatever this author writes next, I'm gonna read it. The Rattled Bones actually comes out in August, so I don't have to wait too much longer for it. I've been looking forward to it for like over a year, but it's gonna be a YA mystery, and I'm definitely looking forward to just more of this author in a different genre and just seeing more of her writing and how I like it too. So as of right now, these debut authors are auto-read status for me, even though they've only got one book out. I would love to hear what some of your auto-read or auto-buy authors are, or any that are on my list, also on your list. I would love to hear that from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the comments. Bye!